Hi, my name is Scott Hall, and I'm a member of the FireEye Cloud Collector engineering team. This video will cover the installation and configuration of the Cloud Collector software appliance. The Cloud Collector ISO can be installed on either physical or virtual hardware. For this video, we'll be installing on a virtual server, but you could just as easily burn the ISO image to DVD or USB stick to install on a physical box. Before we begin, though, the Cloud Collector team needs information from you in order to set up the back-end management environment. We need things like hostname, external IP address that the Cloud Collector will be sending information from, the number of CPU cores, the installed memory, and the estimated monitored bandwidth. Let's begin the installation and configuration. Let's begin by creating a virtual machine on our ESX server. We're going to choose a typical configuration. We're going to give it a name. For this instance, we're going to call it Cloud Collector 01. We're going to choose Linux and then CentOS 7 64-bit because that's what the Cloud Collector is based off of. We're going to give it 2 network interface cards, one for management, one for monitor. We're going to give it 500 gigabytes of storage. And then we're going to edit the settings before we continue. We're going to give it 8 gigabytes of memory and also 8 CPU cores. Now let's edit the DVD settings to mount the ISO that was provided to you by your FireEye contact. Remember to set it to connect at power on. Locate the ISO file that you uploaded to your ESX server. Now let's open the console for the newly created virtual machine. Once the console is open, we'll power on the virtual machine. Select Install Cloud Collector Software Appliance. You will now be asked to enter the full word yes to perform a clean install of the operating system. The installation script will partition the hard drives and begin operating system package installation. After the installation is completed, you will be prompted to reboot the virtual machine. Upon reboot, log into the server using the default FireEye username and the default FireEye password provided to you by your FireEye contact. Immediately after logging in, you will be asked to configure the Cloud Collector. We will now create a user account that will be allowed to log into the server. You will be prompted to enter a password and then verify the password. Note that the password will not be displayed on the screen. Next, we will begin network configuration. You can choose DHCP if you wish, but for this video, we will assign a static network information. Enter a host name for this server. Next, select your primary network interface that will receive an IP address and act as the management interface. Use the spacebar to select and the arrow keys to move. Enter the IP address to be assigned to the management interface. Supply the proper net mask for this host. Now enter the gateway IP address for this network. Type in the appropriate DNS search domain for this host and enter the IP address of the primary DNS server for your network. Next, use the spacebar and arrow keys to select the monitor interfaces that will be connected to your switch span port or physical network tap. Note that if present, you may select multiple. You will now enter the fully qualified domain name of the Cloud Collector management server that was supplied to you by your FireEye contact. Finally, enter the previously supplied Threat Analytics Platform instance name that has been assigned to your account. You will be given a chance to review the entered information before committing the changes. Selecting Yes will commit the changes and issue a reboot of the server, and selecting No will allow you to begin the configuration process from the beginning. At this point, let your FireEye contact know that the configuration is complete so that we may accept your management key and begin management of the server. Now let's use a local terminal to connect to the server remotely. We will log into the server using the credentials created during configuration. Upon logging in, we will issue the check-in command to have the server connect to the management server to update packages and install needed software. Don't worry, the Cloud Collector checks in automatically every 15 minutes to ensure that everything is configured and running correctly. I hope you found this video informative, and thanks for watching.